let's see what HTC has done in order to improve the text messaging feature from the old Desire phone to the new Desire S phone. In both phones, messages is a default icon on the home screen. I'll press this one, you can see a bunch of messages here. I'll press the same one over here, but because I don't have SIM card in this phone or dual SIM card, you'll see all my phone numbers for these contacts, so therefore I'm just going to put a book over it. But it'll look like this. And you can see the only difference, actually, you have to trust me here, is that they've changed new message to compose message. But let's say I go into a conversation such as this one. And I'll do the same thing over here, only you won't see the key press. So one of the first things that I've noticed is that images are displayed as images in the message. You can see the image directly in the text message, whereas in the old phone you have this strange thing with a so-called slideshow, where the image would be hidden under this play icon, and where it wouldn't be possible to see it straight away because you had to go into some kind of slideshow. I'm not going to display these are personal pictures. But the whole idea of this slideshow thingy, which doesn't really make sense to me in order to display a picture, has thankfully been removed to this phone where you just see the image straight away. Also, the interaction has been changed, so in the old phone you could tap a message, nothing would happen, and then you can long press it and you'll have these message options. In the new one you can just tap the message once, the message options will appear, and some of the options has been removed. Open contact doesn't do much for me anyway, copy to SIM doesn't do much for me, but I'm a bit puzzled that call has been removed over here from the message options, because it often makes sense to me to go in to a text message and call the person. It happens often when I discover that a conversation will be too long for text messaging, and then I simply call the person. Instead it has been moved to the menu button down here. Now also, instead of having this icon, which I do think is fairly simple to understand, the even more intuitive send has simply been added. If I try to add some text, you'll see two differences here. First off, I do live in Denmark, that's in Europe, and the Danish language has a few extra characters. In the old phone I couldn't have these characters, but in the new one you'll see 3 out here, which you probably don't recognize, and that's okay with me. The good thing here is, of course, that the keyboard is a lot easier to use in the language that I normally use, instead of having to go in here and then find something up here, instead of just pressing the button itself. So in the old phone, the Danish text entry algorithm didn't actually do anything with the keyboard, whereas in the new one everything just works together. Also in the Desire phone, if I do some kind of mistake, if I wish to edit the D out here, then it's actually fairly difficult to hit it, because I don't have any options for corrections in any clever way. Whereas the new phone, if I write something and I wish to edit it, then I can simply press the screen and I have this little zooming option. The zooming option is inspired a lot by something that the iPhone does, but it doesn't mean that it's bad. And it also gives me some more options that I never use. But the option of correcting one letter somewhere in the middle of the word is actually very, very nice to have. So overall, the text messaging feature in the HTC Desire S is easier to use and more clever setup than in the Desire phone. So therefore,